Hi everyone, myself Ashwati. In this video, we are going to have a study of history, occurrence, morphology of useful parts, and overall chemical composition of beverages like tea, coffee, and cocoa. Tea, coffee, and cocoa are cultivated for their young leaves, cherries, and beans, respectively, from which popular beverages are made and consumed worldwide. In addition to being used as beverage, cocoa is essentially consumed as chocolate confectionery products. The stimulant properties and medicinal values of these beverages are recognized since the ancient times. So now let us see what are beverages. A drink or beverage is a liquid intended for human consumption, like water, milk, coffee, tea, hot chocolate, juice, and soft drinks. In addition, alcoholic drinks such as wine, beer, and liquor, which contain the drug ethanol, have been the part of human culture for more than 8,000 years. The main function in consuming beverages are they are stimulatory in action, and man feels some pleasure by taking them. Some substances obtained from the plants like cocaine, opium, etc. are highly stimulant, where others like tea, coffee, cocoa, etc. are mild stimulants. Nowadays, beverages are used in enormous quantity throughout the world, and they become an integral part of the human diet. Tea is the most popular beverage and it is consumed by 65% of the world's population, while coffee ranks second with about 2 billion cups consumed daily. Nearly 4 kg cocoa bean equivalent is consumed per capita annually in the developed countries. Beverages may be classified on various ways. The classification criteria may depend on various factors such as ingredients used in the manufacture, degree of mechanical carbonation, presence or absence of alcohol, temperature of serving, based upon physiological effect. Based on the factor ingredients used in the manufacture, the beverages can be classified into two types, natural and synthetic. Based on the degree of mechanical carbonation, the beverages can be classified into carbonated beverages and non-carbonated beverages. Based on the temperature of serving, the beverages are classified into hot and cold type of beverages. Based on the physiological effect, the beverages are of two types, stimulating and non-stimulating. And based on the presence or absence of alcohol, the beverage is classified into two types, that is alcoholic and non-alcoholic, which is the most widely accepted type of classification. So the beverages are of two types, that is alcoholic and non-alcoholic. The alcoholic is again classified into two types, that is fermented and non-fermented, while the non-alcoholic is of three types, that is stimulating beverages, refreshing beverages, and nourishing beverages. The first type is alcoholic beverages, which is a potable liquid which contains 2 to 75% of liquor. Technically, it is known as ethyl alcohol. The alcoholic beverages are depressant and it has an ability of lowering the activity of brain. The alcoholic beverages are mainly of two types, that is fermented alcoholic beverage and distilled alcoholic beverage, where the fermented beverages are those alcohol which is formed by the fermentation of sugar, for example wine, beer, etc., while the distilled beverages which are obtained by the successive distillation of the fermented liquors like whiskey, rum, gin, etc. The second type in the classification is the non-alcoholic beverages, which are non-toxic drinks or soft drinks which does not have a bit of liquor. For example, aerated water, mineral water, juices, squash, syrups, tea, coffee, milk, etc. Non-alcoholic beverages usually contain alkaloids and are used all over the world for their stimulating and refreshing qualities. Tea, coffee, and cocoa are the three major non-alcoholic beverages. The tea and coffee have a little nutritive value while cocoa is a good source of energy. In addition to these values, they also possess some medicinal values also. So in this session, we are going to discuss about the three major non-alcoholic beverages, that is tea, coffee and cocoa. The first type is tea and the botanical name is Thea sinensis, which comes under the family Thaceae. The morphologically useful part is the tender leaves. Tea or Thea sinensis is the most popular among non-alcoholic beverages, and more than half of the world's population is addicted to tea. It has both medicinal and palatable properties. Now, looking on to the history and occurrence of tea, tea plants are native to East and South Asia and probably originated around the meeting point of the lands of North Burma and Southeast China. India or China, or perhaps both these countries, are native home of tea. The ancient records show that tea was grown in China as early as 2700 BC. Since tea is the most popular beverage, the cultivation of the plant is worldwide accepted. Looking on to the morphology of the plant, Thea sinensis is an evergreen perennial shrub or a small tree attaining a height of 9 to 15 meters in natural condition. But under commercial cultivation, it is never allowed to grow beyond 0.7 to 1.5 meter. The leaf is a morphologically useful part of the plant, and the peculiar features of the leaf are: it is simple, elliptic to lanceolate, coronaceous and serrated leaves. The young leaves are beset with numerous oil glands which impart characteristic fragrance and aroma. The flower blossoms are white and are quite fragrant, grow on their own, or they appear in clusters of 2 to 4 together on short branchlets in the leaf axils. The subtropical and tropical mountain region are suitable for the cultivation of Thea sinensis. For the cultivation of tea, an annual rainfall of 100 to 150 cm is required and a temperature of 24 to 30 degrees Celsius. Excessive dry periods are not suitable for the plant growth. It requires some shade for the faster growth. To provide shade to the tea bushes, leguminous trees are mainly planted in the tea gardens. Some of the examples of the leguminous plants which are commonly planted in the tea gardens are Albizia procera, Albizia chinensis, Derris robusta, etc. Tea plants are raised from the seeds. When they attain a height of about 2 meters, they are pruned to a height of 45 to 50 centimeters. The main aim of the pruning is that to promote branching. Even though for the cultivation of tea an annual rainfall of 100 to 150 centimeters is required, it never promotes a waterlogging because it is very much harmful for the growth of tea plants. Based on the degree of fermentation, there are several types of tea like green tea, white tea, yellow tea, oolong tea, black tea and dark tea. This classification is mainly done on the basis of the degree of fermentation. Next, we are going to see the processes in the tea manufacture. There are several steps to be done in the tea production process. They are plucking, withering, rolling, oxidation and drying. In the first step, that is plucking, we pluck all the desired tender young leaves which are required for the tea production process. After plucking those leaves, we move on to the next step of processing, that is withering, where we remove as much as moisture as possible from the leaves of tea. Later, after the removal of moisture, we circulate those leaves to the next stage of processing, that is rolling, where we put the leaves into a roller machine which twists and turns those leaves and break those leaves into smaller pieces. After that, we pass those broke leaves into the next stage, that is oxidation, where the pieces of those leaves is oxidized by exposing it to the air in larger tray till it eventually turns black. After the stage of oxidation, we do a drying where the leaf is exposed to hot air from an air blower. After the drying, the entire process is being completed and we got those tea leaves which is being shifted for the grading. As we all know, tea consists of its own medicinal and nutritive value. Now let's have a quick look on what are the uses of the plant and also the chemical composition of the plants. The distinctive character of tea is mainly due to the presence of three principal constituents, that is essential oils, alkaloidal fraction and polyphenols. The aroma and flavor of tea is due to the presence of the ethereal oil, and the stimulatory and refreshing property is due to the presence of caffeine alkaloids, and the bitterness is due to the presence of polyphenols. Chemically, tea consists 2.5% of theine and 13 to 18% of polyphenols as essential oil. In addition, it contains B-complex vitamin and nicotinic acid also. Caffeine taken in small doses increases the mental and muscular power. Caffeine has a definite medicinal value and acts as a nerve stimulant. It stimulates the digestive juice production and has a marked diuretic action also. So from this we understood that tea is a very important beverage which we can act in our daily routine, and it also has several chemical properties and medicinal properties also which complement in our healthy life. The next example of non-alcoholic beverage is coffee, whose botanical name is Coffea arabica, which comes under the family Rubiaceae, and the morphological useful part of the plant is seeds. Coffee is a brewed drink prepared from the roasted coffee beans, the seeds of the berries from certain Coffea species. Coffee species are shrubs or small trees. The seeds from some species called coffee beans are used to flavor various beverages and the respective products. Coffee is a darkly colored, bitter, slightly acidic, and has a stimulating effect in humans primarily due to its caffeine content. The fruit, like the seeds, contain a large amount of caffeine and have a distinctive sweet taste and are often juiced. The plant ranked as one of the world's most valuable and widely traded commodity crop and is an important export product of several countries. Looking on to the history and occurrence of the plant, Coffea arabica is native to Abyssinia and Ethiopia, but grows well in Java, Sumatra and other islands of Dutch East Indies. In India, Arabia, Equatorial Africa, the islands of the Pacific, in Mexico, Central and South America and the West Indies. Coffea arabica, the source of coffee, is indigenous to the tropical rainforest of Ethiopia, where leaves and dried berries of this plant have been used as the masticatory since ancient times. The word Coffea originated from Kaffa, the name of the district in Shoa, southwest Abyssinia, where the coffee plant was first discovered. As of 2018, Brazil was the leading grower of coffee beans, producing 35% of the world total. Coffee is a major export commodity as leading legal agriculture export for numerous countries. It is one of the most valuable commodities exported by developing countries also. Now let us have a look on the morphological description about the plant. All the coffee plants are classified in the large family Rubiaceae. Coffea arabica is a shrub with evergreen leaves and reaches a height of 14 to 20 feet when fully grown. The shrub produces dimorphic branches, that is, branches of two forms known as upright and lateral. The leaves are lanceolates or lens-shaped, and they are also thin but of firm texture and slightly coriaceous. They are very dark green on the upper surface but much lighter underneath. The margin of the leaf is entire and wavy. The coffee flowers are small, white and very fragrant, having a delicate characteristic odor. They are borne in the axils of the leaf in clusters, and several crops are produced in one season, depending on the condition of heat and moisture that prevail in the particular season. The flowers are also tubular, the tube of corolla dividing into 5 white segments. While the usual color of the coffee flower is white, the fresh stamen and pistils may have greenish tinge, and in some cultivated species the corolla is pale pink. The size and the condition of the flower are entirely depending on the weather of the cultivated area. The flowers are followed by oval berries, botanically speaking, the berries. When immature, they are green and they ripe into yellow, then crimson, before turning black on drying. Each berry usually contains 2 seeds, but 5 to 10% of the berries have only one, and these are known as pea berries. These berries are commercially used for the sale and export in several developing and non-developing countries. Based on the criteria like the size of the berries, color of the berries, and size and shape and texture of the seeds, the coffee beans or the coffee varieties can be classified into different types. and that is represented as pictures in this slide. Next, we are going to see the processes in the coffee manufacture. First step which we do here is plucking the cherries from the plant. The fruit, which is commonly termed cherries, depending on the degree of ripeness, it turns from green to bright or dark red. The unripe ones are green in color. The cherries ripen fast under low altitude and higher temperature. We pluck the ripe cherries from the plant by strip picking method or selective picking. After the collection of berries from the plant, we process these cherries where we avoid the spoilage of the berries, and it is mainly done by a dry method or by a wet method. After the processing of cherry, we do pass these coffee to a milling process where the coffee beans are milled well. After that, the coffee is tasted where the packed coffee is repeatedly checked to define the taste and quality. It also checks the acidity content in the coffee also. After the tasting process, we pass the coffee for the next stage, that is roasting, where it provides the flavor. The roasting is carried out at a temperature of approximately 550 Fahrenheit, during which the time green coffee beans are turned continuously to avoid burning. Green beans are first dried until they become yellow and develop roasting smell. After roasting, they are well grinded to make into fine powders. After all these steps, we pass it into the final step, that is packing, where it is further exported for the commercial purposes. And these are the steps which we follow in the processing of coffee manufacture. Some of the uses and chemical composition of the coffee are caffeine and caffeinic acid are the two main alkaloids in the coffee seeds. Caffeine content vary from 0.75 to 2.5%, and the bitterness and stimulating effect of the coffee are due to its presence. Raw seeds have more caffeine content than the roasted seeds. The flavor of the coffee is due to the presence of a volatile oil, caffeinol. The coffee is mainly used as a beverage in the form of aqueous extract prepared from the roasted and powdered seeds. Coffee is also used for flavoring ice creams, candies, and pastries. In medicines, it is used as stimulant, nervine, and diuretic. The bad effects of excessive use of coffee is due to the presence of a volatile toxic substance called copiotoxin. The leaves of coffee are also used as beverage in certain part of Malaya. In Arabia, an alcoholic drink is prepared from the dried coffee pulp. The coffee pulp is used as cattle feed also. The wood of coffee plant is used for making boxes and branches of walking stick and hammer handle, etc. These are some of the products made by using coffee, and hence we can say that coffee is widely accepted commercial product. The last example of non-alcoholic beverage which we are going to discuss in this video is cocoa, whose botanical name is Theobroma cocoa, which comes under the family Malvaceae or Sterculaceae, and the useful part of the plant is seeds. Cocoa is a refreshing, satisfying, and inspiring beverage. This drink was imbibed in a single draught for the miraculous refreshment and satisfaction of the bodily state to which it gives strength, nourishment, and energy. Cocoa is the dried and fully fermented seeds of Theobroma cocoa, from which cocoa solids and cocoa butter can be extracted. The three main varieties of cocoa plant are Forastero, Criolla, and Trinitario. Cocoa and chocolate are two major products obtained from the roasted seeds of Theobroma cocoa. Looking on to the history and occurrence of the cocoa plant, the cocoa tree is native to the Amazon basin. It was domesticated by Mexico and Central America. Cocoa is grown commercially in the New World tropics as well as Western Africa and tropical Asia. In India, cocoa was introduced by Ceylon and it is grown in the foothills of Nilgiris and in some parts of Kerala. Now let's see what are the morphological features of the plant Theobroma cocoa. Cocoa is a plant with feeder root surface. The original habitat of the cocoa plant is a tropical forest with a canopy of tall trees. Rainfall and humidity is high, so the plant grows tall. Cocoa crop is dimorphous, namely orthotrop branches and plagotrop. Leaves are alternate, entire, unlobed, long and broad. The flowers are produced in clusters directly on the trunk and older branches. The fruit, called as cocoa pod, is ovoid and long. Ripening, it turns into orange color from yellow. It weighs about 500 grams when ripe. The pod contains 20 to 60 seeds, usually called beans, embedded in a white pulp. The seeds are the main ingredient of chocolate, while the pulp is used in some countries to prepare refreshing juice, soothes, jellies, and creams. Each seeds contain a significant amount of fat which can be later converted into cocoa butter. Based on the size and shape and also the color of the cocoa pod, there are different varieties of cocoa. Mainly, they are of three types. They are Criollo, Forastero, and Trinitario. And later, based upon the type of cocoa composition, we can classify the chocolates into different types, that is white, milk, dark and raw, where the raw chocolate contains 100% of cocoa. Next, we are going to see the processes in the cocoa manufacture. Mainly, the cocoa manufacture is done by a method of double fermentation process. The major steps which comes under the double fermentation are harvesting, fermenting, double fermentation, drying, roasting, granulating, blending, grinding, couching, tempering or molding, then to the manufacturing. These are the major steps which comes in the cocoa manufacture. As we all know, cocoa is a satisfying, refreshing, nourishing and energy producing beverage. Let's see what are the uses and the chemical composition present in the cocoa, which helps to maintain a healthy, energetic body. The roasted seeds of cocoa contain 3% of theobromine, 30 to 35% of fatty oil, 15% of starch and protein, and certain minerals like iron, phosphorus, manganese, zinc, aluminium, etc., and vitamins of B group also. The stimulating qualities of cocoa is due to the presence of theobromine and a small quantity of caffeine, which is the characteristic feature for the aroma, and also due to the essential oil cacao. Cocoa is a highly concentrated energy food which all can be consumed for storing energy in the body. The roasted seeds are also a source of beverage. Chocolate and cocoa butter prepared from the seeds are widely used in the commercial products. The active constituents present in the fruit are theobromine and a proper amount of caffeine. The fermented sun-dried beans also contain a well approximate quantity of vitamin D. The cocoa also finds a wider application in the pharmaceutical ointment due to the presence of cocoa butter and certain essential oils. Cocoa shells are used as a livestock feed and also as an adulterant to cocoa powder and chocolate. The shells are also used as a filler for thermosetting resin in plastic industries. So, due to the stimulant properties and the medicinal value of these beverage, we can say that how important is cocoa to the world. And next we can see some of the useful products from cocoa and which are commercially used. So in this session we have mainly discussed about what are beverages, and also we have gone in detail about 3 non-alcoholic beverage plants, that is tea, coffee and cocoa. Hope you all have enjoyed this video. Thank you.